Welcome to another edition of Ask the Expert on Fox 4. I'm your host, Tana, Guthrie, and today we're going to talk about your floors and specifically how to clean them, something I hate to do. Well, we have our expert here. We have Brian Bock with Bock Steam Star Carpet Cleaning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Yeah, good to be here.
I can use your help. Okay, my dog, before we found out he was diabetic, he was peeing all over the floors. I mean, the hardwood, the carpet, in the tile. So how do you clean that?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of the biggest hot buttons we get. I mean, probably 50% of our business, the dog or cat did something, and that's why we're being called out. First thing what we need to do, the answer to that question, is I don't know. As I'm sitting here, what we need to do, we need to come out and see it and do what we call a pet odor inspection. We do those for free anywhere in the Kansas City metro area.
Do you walk around sniff like a dog, or do you have special tools?
That is effective. We do have some special tools, kind of a couple things, really the high intensity UV lights. Okay, so we can
Does that highlight pee?
It does. Huh. It picks up the dye in the urine and makes it glow, just like you walked into a novelty store and your t-shirt glows.
Right.
Okay, the dyes in the urine will put off a light and you can see it. Some carpet fibers today are pretty non-absorbent. They've done some pretty good things with carpet fibers. So we don't always get a reading with these, so we switch over to what we call a moisture meter.
Which looks like a taser.
Looks like a taser, so if you're not nice to me, you might get tased. But this will, if you listen, it picks up the moisture in my finger. It's very sensitive. So the hydrophilic salts that the urine leaves behind are moisture loving. So come about April, May, June, getting in July, our phone starts ringing off the hook for this stuff because the moisture draws into those hydrophilic salts, then starts off gassing again, an ammonia gas that's put out by the bacteria as it's decomposing. And when
is that why it smells so bad? Like a urine smell is worse than a wine spill?
Oh yeah, absolutely, because they've got bacteria down there that's producing odors that we need to address. And there's lots of different things that you can do. Is it a topical application? Is it something we can spot flush? Do we have to, completely remediate where we pull carpet back, ceiling, floor, take out the tack strip?
Can you do that?
All those things. Yes, we can. Okay. But where I took my red cape off years ago, I can't solve everything. Okay, I'm not Superman, and that took a long time, trying to figure out, because all the things in our industry, they're sold and say, this is the best stuff since sliced bread, and it'll take care of every issue. That's not true.
For instance, a cat. I think cat urine is way worse than dog, and especially if it's on the baseboard, because I know a lady who was trying to sell her house. She had to reduce the price, I think, by $30,000 because the stench was so bad it was in the baseboard, and it wasn't just cleaning it. You had to actually cut out the baseboard.
Yeah, and those are extreme situations. We're not a remodeling company, and that's where we'll be honest with you and say, look, I mean, this is not a carpet cleaning job, and that's what the pet odor inspection is so valuable. Instead of just, hey, call the carpet cleaning company, and they show up and go, oh my gosh, this is not anything that we thought we heard on the phone or that you put on in your little online questionnaire, and you get out there and go, boom, it's not possible. And we're probably one of the few industries that even tries to price stuff like that over the telephone. I mean, the plumber doesn't do it, the electrician doesn't do it. Until you get out there, you see what you're coming into. And I think that's probably a pretty different approach, I think, is seeing, as experts in the industry, our job is to look at the fibers we're called upon to clean, or the textiles we're called upon to clean, and look at the soil conditions that are affecting that fiber, and then let's design cleaning protocol around that. If it makes sense. In your scenario, that's not going to make sense.
They'd just be wasting their money, right?
And that's a reasonable conversation that people should have when we start having to, do we have to pull up carpet, you better have a conversation. How much do I like this carpet?
Right.
This floor, this tile, whatever we're dealing with, okay? Replacement might be a viable option. If that's the case, then we'll help you through that process as well.
So how do you clean the carpets? I mean, do you have a big machine? Yeah,
it's a big truck mounted, hot water extraction unit, which, we're well versed in a lot of different methods. Okay. And I think that's a little bit different too. There's many carpet cleaning methods. There's 5 different carpet cleaning methods that are recognized by the IICRC, which is our educational arm of our industry.
Are they all good?
They all have their place. I look at carpet cleaning methods like, a carpenter looks at tools. If they showed up at your house to build your deck and they just had a hammer, would you be worried?
Probably.
Yeah, exactly. So it's our job as professional cleaners to say, okay, here's what I'm presented with. Commercially, it might be different for us if I don't have dry times need to be, nothing. Are there some dry cleaning processes that we could do? Sure. Residentially, we're pretty much always doing steam cleaning commonly,
which takes longer to dry, right?
Maximum dry times, according to the IICRC standard of carpet cleaning, should never exceed 24 hours. That's where you get into some guys that aren't trained, they don't have the proper equipment, they're not going through the right steps of cleaning, and they're soaking down stuff. There's
so if it gets too wet, then it's going to take longer than 24 hours. And
right. I mean, there's so many things to that question,
Would that cause mold, like if it lasted too long, or?
Oh, sure. I mean, anything, but it would be, much longer than, 24 hours.
Sure.
Okay. And also you're a clean water source and all those things affect those issues. But our job as a professional cleaner, according to the standards, is to make sure the carpets are dry. Maximum 24 hours. Hey, it could be 2 hours, could be 4 hours,
Sure.
could be 8 hours. All depends on the soil conditions, the fiber types, humidity levels, all those things. Okay, but that's our job, is to coach the consumer through all those aspects to get it dry in 24 hours.
Do the chemicals hurt, like, say, pets or babies crawling on the carpet?
No, I mean, look, not the ones we're using. Okay,
Right.
Are there products that are produced that the consumer should be wary about? Yes. Okay, some of them are high. Butyls in high enough dosages are known carcinogens. Okay, butyls are also high alkaline builders, and that's getting a little wonky.
What are you saying, butyls?
Butyls are additives that are in some cleaning, some cleaning agents they raise the alkalinity. Okay. And for years, those words were used, and we don't use any of that stuff. And all of our product lines are non-toxic, biodegradable, safe. The other thing to keep in mind is don't leave it behind. Okay, so most of your chemistry is done up front, what we call in a preconditioning fashion.
Right.
Okay, so you're putting it down first. Okay, this isn't rocket science. If you're cleaning carpets, think of this like the pre-soak stage at the car wash. Okay, we just don't like the word soak. That's bad connotation in carpet cleaning, right? So we're putting down a cleaning agent. It's safe. It's non-toxic. It's made for, if we're cleaning wool, it better be made for wool. Nylons, polyesters, other fibers clean a little bit differently.
So different chemicals for different types of carpet.
Yeah, think about the laundry. Do you clean everything that goes into the laundry? Unless you're my teenage son,
No, I don't, because my husband does all the laundry. So
there you go, attaboy. But there's little tweaks, and if you understand those tweaks, we can maximize cleaning, but also keep the safety of the textile and the people in mind. Okay, the really high alkaline cleaners with some of the degreasing agents that are designed for the the greasy Chinese restaurant should never be brought into a residential setting. They have, again, sometimes you need to get in some of these things, and most of the things that we're spraying, the tips of the tools that we're spraying it out of matter. How big is the droplet? Are you aerosolizing things into the airspace and breathing that? Probably affects the operators more than it would be. But if you're highly sensitive, okay, or if you got chemical sensitivities, allergies, things like that, yeah, we want to be concerned what's coming into the airspace. Absolutely.
Now, you said I think 50% of the calls are about pet odors. Now, I think red wine can be an issue, which is what I'm drinking here. So if I spill it, can you clean it?
And it's only 10 in the morning.
Actually, it's fresh spring water.
Yeah.
But so what about the red wine spills, like on white carpet? Is that something, is there a product that you can use at home to do it quickly? Because say I can't get a hold of you to come out, I don't want it to set.
Yeah, the bottom line, you probably should just be grabbing what's called a neutral spotter. You can make that up with probably a little Dawn dishwashing.
You make it up yourself?
You could make it yourself. You could buy one from me, but you could really. The carpet mills have done very good in their guidebooks and online and coaching you how to make some concoctions.
Right.
In fact, I think we did a thing that's probably still on the Fox 4 website.
So what is it with Dawn and what?
Well, depends what you're coming out. There's a little bit of hydrogen peroxide in there as well. So I don't have the.
That's like, we'll go to your website. What is your website, by the way?
It's steamstar.net.
Okay, and so the instructions are there to make your own home concoction.
There's a link to the video, which then has the instructions on it. But I think that concoction is still on the Fox 4 website.
Because that's good to know for sloppy drinkers.
Yeah.
You might need that.
Yeah, you might need that. And we try to coach people through those things when we're there. Get them some product that they can have on hand. Because the reality is, you can't call me every time the dog spits up. You spill something, you'll go broke. Okay, it's expensive to take a mobile cleaning plant, drive it to your house with 2 trained technicians, and do something. We're going to have 2 hours involved in probably that process, so we can't do that for $50.
Now, how often should you have your carpets cleaned? I'm not saying that there's a specific odor or anything, but just you've had your carpet down for like 10 years. I mean, do you need to clean it every year, every 5 years?
Yeah, well, if we were going to maintain my automobile, would you listen to the manufacturer's recommendations?
Probably.
Right? So let's listen to the carpet manufacturer's
Okay, what is the recommendation?
Okay, anything from Shaw, Mohawk, Bolu, any Maslin, any of the main carpet mills, okay, they will mandate, this is residential carpet, they will mandate 1 hot water extraction cleaning every 18 to 24 months. Their recommendations, however, are anywhere from 6, really 24 months, depending on use, type of traffic, and all those things.
I am 5 years behind.
Yes. When you get out to your house. Did you get that website?
Yeah. So that I need my carpet cleaned. But I've always heard that once you start cleaning your carpet, then it gets dirty more quickly.
Sure.
Is that true?
Can be true if it's done improperly. So I said, if you have a lousy carpet cleaning job done, you've heard it in the short term and you've heard it in the long term, okay? The verdict's in. I mean, they've been studying this, the carpet mills, the Carpet and Rug Institute, the IICRC. We now have the science that they can actually quantify soil and residue before and after cleaning systems, and it's come back telling us what we thought we'd always known as an industry, that hot water extraction, when done properly, will remove the most soil, leave little to no residue, and leave the home healthier. Okay, those are 3 good things we're trying to achieve in professional cleaning. Okay, so, but good product matters, rinsing matters. Okay, a lot of companies just want to fly in your front door and they got detergent water running through their lines and they're cleaning the carpets, and you think that's steam cleaning. Everybody's doing the same thing. There are differences in products and procedures and equipment, training of the technicians. All of that goes into answering your question. Okay, but it's a valid concern. Okay, because if they do leave residues behind, and there's ways we get that out of there, we neutralize that and rinse. Okay, is really doing the front end preconditioning. Okay, again, this is the letting pots and pans soak in the sink. This is the pre-soak stage of the car wash. That's where cleaning is happening. And sometimes do we need to give it some agitation and getting soils and oils, allergens, everything held in suspension. And then we need some type of cleaning system to rinse all that out. And hot water extraction is the only one that has a really rinse cycle. You talk about a lot of the, the oxy systems you'll see out there. They're not evil. They're just different methods, okay? And you got to ask yourself, where's the rinse cycle? That's always
so
a good
it's like
question.
A dry shampoo. It's better to wash and rinse than use a dry shampoo.
Correct.
For your hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the hair's a different fiber then, right? So we wouldn't leave all that in there. Maybe we can do it for a short-term deal, but if it's carpet fibers, there's specific ways to clean them that their warranties now require.
Okay. So how often should my husband vacuum?
Well, the old adage is for every person or animal that you have in the house, that's how many times per week that you should vacuum.
Okay. Because that'll save the carpet, right? Extend the life.
Yeah. Again, depending on the vacuum, okay, go to the Carpet and Rug Institute, has done a vacuum study. It'll get a little green sticker that says CRI approved, okay, and that's why they've tested it. Somebody a lot smarter than me in a lab coat and has run those things through the paces to make sure that their brushes aren't too aggressive or they're not harming the fibers. And we see that a lot. It causes tip bloom. So that fiber opens up. Now it's got more surface area to collect soil and oil to, which is what we're trying to prevent. Okay. So there are some really good vacuums that people are very passionate out there. I'm not going to beat them up today, but they have not scored well for those reasons. They may be too good. Okay. A vacuum cleaner is not a scoop. Okay, it's not scooping the stuff out. Those bars and those beater bars are just creating enough vibration at the tips of the yarn to loosen up soil so that the vacuum can capture it. Okay.
What about soap scum? Can you clean that on tile?
Like in showers and things like that. We get a lot of people calling, the showers are a tough thing to clean, okay? And not all product, okay? Usually acidic cleaners is what you're going after, getting alkalines, soap residues, hard water deposits, if the shower you're called upon can handle acidic cleaners. Okay. Not what they don't tell you is not all acidic cleaners are designed for soap scum. Okay. There have to be. So again, in 25 years now in this business, the chemistry matters, and you better understand it and how to apply it on location to get the results you want.
How'd you learn so much? Are you a chemist?
I am not a chemist. In fact, I probably avoided some of the science classes back in the day. But once somebody started paying me for it, it got a little more entertaining. But I did. I started out working for a large national, franchise that, going through college as a summer job and, needed to make money. I was going to school and started cleaning carpets and got a business degree from K-State back in '93. Okay, go Wildcats. But bounced around the corporate world for a few years, and it just wasn't my calling, and I knew that, but I loved the physicality of carpet cleaning and meeting people and moving around. And so I got lucky. I got into an organization that really my supplier was very educational focused, and their theory in business was pretty unique at that time. They said, look, if we make you understand the business better, make you more successful, you're probably going to buy more chemical from me.
Right.
You're going to buy more truck mounts. And that was their philosophy, and they were right. So I dug in deep. The IICRC, nobody's ever heard of it, and I'd probably worry about you if you had. But that's the Institute of Inspection, Cleaning, Restoration Certification.
You're right. We've never heard of that.
You've never heard of it. It's actually it's a standards organization. They're ANSI certified standards in water restoration, fire restoration, carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, carpet repair. Okay. So it took me 3 years of course studying and testing to get my, what we call our MTC, our Master Textile Cleaner certification. Okay.
So you're a master carpet cleaner.
I am.
That's pretty cool.
Think of like master plumbers and master electricians. Believe it or not, there's master certifications in the textile cleaning industry. However, we're not regulated. Right, so you don't have to do this. You can go get a little portable unit, throw it in your hatchback, and voila, you're a professional cleaner.
So you're self-regulated.
It's a self-regulated industry. Okay, so yes,
you do it right.
I wanted to know what I was doing. I started out in Kansas City. This was my home. I was probably dealing with, mom and dad's, friends and family members. And, you didn't want them calling up mom and dad and saying, yeah, your son screwed up my carpet. So I really wanted to know why we were doing some of the things. And as an operator, then start learning some of these things, how it affected me as an operator. Now, as a 50-year-old guy sitting here, when I was 26, what am I breathing all day?
Exactly.
Okay, so you ask those questions about your house, man, those are good ones. And I asked those too. So we looked at all those things and started asking those questions, and I can be very confident in what we do and what we're bringing on site. Well,
I know I need you, and probably a lot of people listening do too. So what's your website again?
It is www.steamstar.net.
Steamstar.net.
Yes.
You can find that. Brian Bock with Bock's SteamStar. Thank you for coming in. This is very educational. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Join us next time for another edition of Ask the Expert on Fox 4.